Hello, I'm Mrs. J, and today we are going to cover Chapter 7. Chapter 7 talks about electricity bills, different types of bills, and how the rate of change is. So if we have this one, and we want to find each thing below for this electric bill, the first thing you find is the person's name and address. And then this is the meter reading. So in October, the meter reading was 32,476. In November, it was 3,289. This is the amount of electricity was used. And what they do is they just keep adding on it. They don't keep track each time and then set it back to zero. So from October to November, it went from this one to this one. So if you want to find out how many kilowatt hours you used, you need to subtract them. So in this case, from October to November, he used 813 kilowatt hours. How many kilowatt hours is Mr. Bulker's bill this cycle? So for this cycle, you would subtract them, and that's the 813 kilowatt hours. Over here, there's your customer charge. And then notice all the other fees that come with it. They all say times the kilowatt hours. So these ones are a rate of change. They're our slope because they all depend on how many hours we used. We used 813. Where this one is a fixed cost, it is not times the kilowatt hours. So even if we use no electricity, we're still paying $6.43. So this is a fixed cost. To write your equation, y equals mx plus b, and they're saying let c be the cost. Let me put this up a little. A lot of times instead of x and y, we use symbols that help us know what they are. For instance, cost is our y, and K is kilowatt hours. So you can, but if you prefer X and Y, I'm fine with that. I like to use variables so I know what they stand for. And it said C is the cost and K is kilowatt hours, and I know kilowatt hours go with my rate of change, which is your slope. This is fixed. Fixed cost is your B, and your slope is M. So we know that C equals, we're looking for what goes in front of K, and we know the fixed cost is $6.43. To find the slope, we add these up. And if you add all of those up, you get 0.17, didn't leave enough room, 0.17077 K plus 643. So this is my rate of change. It's a little over 17 cents per kilowatt hour, and my fixed cost. Here we're going to explain the slope. Okay, so this is the slope. I'm going to round it to 0.17, which is approximately 17 cents. Now when we're talking about slope, it's change in y over the change in x. Our y is the cost, and x is kilowatt hours. Cost, kilowatt hours. You start with x moving 1 unit. So each additional kilowatt hour increases, because the slope is positive, the cost by 17 cents. So each additional kilowatt hour, the cost goes up by 17 cents. So this goes up by 1, this goes up by whatever this is, or if it's negative, it goes down by it. The y-intercept is the fixed, because notice if we put 0 in here, then it gives us this. So the y-intercept is your b. The y-intercept is when x is 0. If no electricity or kilowatt hours are used, the cost is $6.43. So it doesn't always make sense. In this case, it does. If you have 0 kilowatt hours used, the cost is $6.43. What is his cost for this month? Well, we know his equation. So taking our equation from here, we just fill in the kilowatt hours, and he used 813 kilowatt hours. Plug that into your calculator. We get $145.27. So that's how much his bill would be for this month.